We back.
Hey,
What's
what's
going
up? What's
on?
up?
Hey, are we live?
We
I
live.
think we
Charlamagne,
live.
we live?
What's happening, people? In the chat.
Oh,
Did you
man.
miss us?
It's good to
We
be
missed y'all.
back.
We missed y'all, man.
What's
I missed
going
y'all.
on?
How y'all
I
doing?
y'all too.
I hadn't seen y'all faces in like a while. We've been talking like on the regular, but I hadn't seen faces, man.
Yeah. It's been well, y'all know how it's been over here, but yeah, good to see everybody.
Yeah, man. Life has been lifing.
Life's
Yeah.
been life and hard.
Life's
Life
been
has been
life.
lifing, man.
Oh, snap.
The good and the bad, ebbs and flows, things happening, but we back on our feet. Everybody is back together. Things is getting back to some state of normalcy. The uncool first one in the chat. Welcome.
What's
What up?
going
What up?
Thank you for the welcome.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, yo. So how y'all want to start off the stream? You want to get catch up? What we want to do? What we doing?
Let's start where we left off. The last big movie we saw was Shang-Chi. So the next big
Shang-Chi.
film that would have come out would be Venom.
Top five.
Top five.
Do we want to
That
talk
boy
about,
Steve.
let's talk about Venom and let's
Steve, what
talk
up?
about Eternals, and then I think we should circle back to all three of them.
Wait, but okay, hold on. Since we're before, because I don't think JBM, you were not on the Shang-Chi
No, I was.
stream. Do you have any thoughts, opinions that you want to share about that movie before we segue into Venom?
Oh man, I love that movie. It had everything in it. It had the action, it had the mysticism, it had
the lore,
the
characters,
the fight sequences.
Action.
yeah, the fighting though.
It had the just the right amount of humor, delivered the right way. So yeah,
It's
top five for me.
definitely top five. All the movies actually that we're going to talk about are still in theaters, and I want to say that Shang-Chi is definitely. I know COVID is a thing, and it's, you got to take your precautions. Go if you feel comfortable going, but this is definitely a movie that I highly recommend you go see in the theater.
Yeah, man.
You got to
the
get
villain. The villain was
great.
raw. He was
Both
raw.
villains.
If you cannot, Shang-Chi comes out on Disney Plus tomorrow.
Which is Disney Plus Day.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yo.
you didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Oh, so that's why they dropping the Kenobi trailer tomorrow.
That's why stuff been leaking.
Ooh.
That's why it's been leaking, man. The
Leaked
ship is
city out
leaking.
here.
It's leaking, man.
Leakers.
Boy, it's been a
radio.
week.
We got a hater in
been
the
a
chat. Dat boy Steve, I absolutely did finish Dune.
Yeah, she
We
did.
hate you.
She won
Hey,
the bet.
listen.
She beat out all of y'all.
Thank you.
All you doubters.
I should
We've
have
been
put
away
money
for
on it.
like we've been away for like
too.
6
I should've
weeks,
put
and that
money
boy
on it.
Steve is still on your head.
Right. First of all, you in the Discord.
Ayo,
This is
that's
just
a fact.
This hate is just spilling over into the YouTube for no reason. It's unnecessary.
Hey, people got it's live, man. You gotta do it. It's this World Star moment.
Madness.
It's for World Star,
Okay,
man.
so
We live.
Should we rate Shang-Chi and add it to our list? Can we do that now? So we couldn't do it then.
Are we gonna do it now? Yeah, I give it a 9. 9 out of 10.
So we can rate it.
9 scoops of gumbo.
Yeah, 9 scoops of gum. 9 ingredients in the pot. Stir it up.
Can
Shang-Chi.
we add it to the list is what I'm asking.
Are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
Man, we are. So we gonna pull up the screen, or we gonna? How we
I mean,
gonna
I
do this?
got it ready. I got it
Oh,
fine.
she got it ready.
Pull
Go
it
ahead.
up.
Let's do
Pull
it.
it
Let's
up.
do it. Pull it.
Share the scrizine.
I hadn't looked at this list since the last time we
Wow.
had it on the stream. Oh man.
Let's see. What we got at the top.
Okay. Captain. I mean, I think we need to just let me zoom in because do we really like?
I think I like Shang-Chi more than Black Panther, to be real.
I personally enjoyed Shang-Chi more than any other Marvel film, and it's Imani's number one Marvel film right now.
Woo.
I ain't
It's
mad
up.
at it. I ain't mad at it.
I'm not mad at that
And
either.
y'all
It's
know
like
how I feel about Winter Soldier.
I know that's.
that's wild.
I would put Shang-Chi over Endgame most definitely. Because Endgame is
It's
just the final
You
battle.
already put it over Black Panther.
yeah. I was about to say you put it up like
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
top
but I
three.
don't know. Black Panther's got the Z.
Oh man. All right. My issue. Not it's not an issue. My thing with Black Panther though is like I always feel like T'Challa was better in Civil War than he
Yeah,
was in Black
he
Panther.
was.
That's my only like gripe with
He
Black
was
Panther.
solid in Civil War.
Civil War was like, oof,
He was like T'Challa. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I'm
yeah.
screaming.
That's my only that. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I didn't know. I don't think I had expectations for Shang-Chi. That's why it blew me away, and not because I didn't have the expectations, but like it literally executed on a level that I don't think any of the other Marvel movies have. To be honest, like culturally, story wise, the villain, the characters, the development, the whole plot, like everything, like they put a lot of time and effort into that story, and it came through in a major way for me because like I was like locked into everything that was happening on screen as it was happening. So for me, like it's I might have to. I think I agree with Amani, yo. Like I don't know what movie I like more than this movie, as far as the MCU goes right now.
And not knocking Shang-Chi, but it also came after WandaVision. It came after Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki, which was great, but still wasn't exactly what we were looking for. And then it came after Black Widow, which we all agree that they handled poorly.
Yeah,
So Shang-Chi was a juicy breath of fresh air,
Mm,
the
yeah.
juiciest of
It
breaths.
did feel. It had a different vibe to it.
yeah. Like it felt like it was its own thing. Like
Mm,
you know what I mean. Like they let it be what it needed to be, and that was awesome because it didn't feel like it was trying to be a Marvel movie. Like it felt like they were trying. It was a martial arts story, and it had like I said, all of the Eastern philosophy and ideology that they embedded into the film worked for me, and that was like some of the strong. Like I don't know, just overall like I don't really have any. Even now, I don't have that many. I don't have any bad things to say about it.
I can't wait to watch it again.
I'm not even a fan of Aquafina, and like I had no issues with her on screen. Like you know what I'm saying? Like her
yeah.
character was great. Like I was like, man, this is
Yeah, she did
the
a good job.
writing,
She turned off all the
the
things we don't
humor.
like about her for this movie. There's no better way to put it. All the stuff you don't like about Aquafina was not in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which shows that she doesn't need all that stuff to be great.
Yeah, I tell you, she learned archery real quick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you.
All
I was
right.
like, wow, so they just accepted her that quick. I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
mad,
that's
but I
true.
was like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
Your man's
true.
was like,
you know,
I'm
unless
not
time
don't
moves
die.
different in that dimension. I don't know.
yeah, I was
I don't
just
know,
like,
man.
hey, she got trained by some people with powers, so
Some
maybe they sprinkled something on
I mean, your boy told
her.
us
You
not to
stupid.
die. I don't think he had any faith in her at all. He was
Little
like, yo,
pixie
no,
dust. Oh man,
oh man, they sprinkle something on her.
yeah, little pixie dust.
Oh, okay, here we go. But yeah, I don't
Man,
know.
I was
Top,
gonna say something.
it's definitely top 5 for sure.
okay, we all agree it's better than Black Panther. Can we agree to that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I gotta be real. It's better than Black Panther.
And
I liked it more than Endgame. I don't know about the other three. Infinity War.
I mean,
I don't know.
Winter Soldier,
Winter Soldier is pretty good too. Mm.
all
Civil
right, so
War.
we're saying that we can put it in the 3 spot. Are either of you comfortable putting it in the 2 or the 1 spot? Imani is comfortable putting it in the number 1 spot.
I'm gonna say 5, and then I gotta think about it.
Now you rolling back. You the person who said you better than Black Panther with the conversation.
Yeah, but if we put it there, it'll be above Infinity War, and I don't know if I would put it above Infinity War. That's the thing. I'm gonna vote for 5 for right now. We can always go back. We got another movie, right?
We got another movie.
What do you say?
Let's top 5 it for now. I agree with that. Let's top 5 it for now.
Okay, so I have lost the battle.
Oh, I feel like it's gonna work its way up. Most definitely.
Yeah, the comments have been quiet. I'm surprised.
I've got to watch. Yeah.
Why am I yelling? I apologize.
I don't think people knew we were gonna be doing the ranking. Might be.
Yeah, true. That was impromptu.
We can
But
always. I mean, our list hasn't.
It's fluid.
Since we've made it, it hasn't stayed. JBM is
fluid.
already unhappy with the fact that Infinity War is where it is. So by just that little bit of convo, there's issues with the Infinity War placement. So it'll move. We'll see.
Okay.
I agree with that boy Steve though.
Oh yeah,
it was a more entertaining movie than Civil War, but I liked the philosophy in Civil War. That's why I place it so high. That was like, that's the essence of the Avengers, man. Civil War.
Yeah. Dang, we already talking about an Iron Fist reboot. I don't want to talk about Iron Fist. I need to see Iron Fist.
I'd rather than bring the Walkman back.
They rebooted. Like, I need a whole recast, everything. Just redo everything.
That was terrible. I don't even want to think about that right now.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. Venom.
he was barefoot half the season.
Venom. Do we rate it?
6.
God damn.
I know it. I like the first one much better than the second.
I agree with that.
That's already been ranked too, right? Where did we put it?
Did we rank it? I think we ranked Venom 1 pretty high.
Let's put the list up.
Oh, put it back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me zoom him out a bit.
Oh, on the main list. So let me see.
Venom is in the 15
It's top
spot.
20.
It's top 20.
It's top 15.
It's in the 15 spot out of 57 films. Well, before we rank it amongst the rest, how do we feel on a scale of 1 to 10? JPM gave it a 6.
Mm-hmm. Big 6, strong 6.
What you got, Coop?
And
what's
good,
going
Hawks?
on?
This is Sin. It was mid.
What threw me was Venom, the amount he was talking. Like, he talked way too much.
Yeah, they overdid it. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was throwing me. I'm like, it's a lot. Like, Venom was more personable than Brock.
Yeah.
I know we haven't spoken about it yet, but I'm going to give Venom a 6 because I want to rate Eternals better than Venom. So that's why I'm
His rating is relative to the Eternals.
Because I was gonna rate it higher, but then I was like, if I rate it higher, I do believe that Eternals is a better film, and so I'd have to rate Eternals higher than I want to. I don't want to do that, so I'm lowering Venom to a 6, even though I didn't tell y'all what my original rating was. But I felt that Venom, it was too much and not enough at the same time. I thought it was too short. I thought the evolution of Carnage's relationship with old girl Naomi, the actress's name escapes me. She's great. She played Calypso in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Oh,
her. I don't know. I felt like they didn't do, their little situationship enough justice, and it was a lot of all over the place.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
it felt rushed. Like
Yes.
they just rushed the story. Like they had some ideas and concepts that they wanted to do, and then they didn't actually focus enough on figuring out what it is this story was about. So it kind of went places that it didn't necessarily need to go.
Yeah, playing
And
hopscotch with the plots.
Yeah, like it had also too. I feel like that main character, who's the main character, who's the lead, kind of sort of a bit like Brock and Venom. There was too much. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. It was all over the place. It's a little all over the place.
Yeah.
Not enough focus. It when they need to hone that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
it wasn't. Is dramatic the right word? I don't know what word
I don't know about dramatic. Oh, you mean between Brock and Venom?
No, I'm talking about the film in
Just
general.
the film in general.
Like the storyline wasn't as like
The story just wasn't well flushed out. It was just a bunch of things happening.
it was,
and it happened so fast.
Spatial or something, you know. It was,
Yeah.
It was a little bit.
Now they did get Carnage right. Like I give that a 10 out of 10 with how they depicted Carnage. Like Carnage's visuals were amazing.
That might have been it though. Like maybe they spent too much time on developing Carnage and not enough of the rest of the story. Like it was like, oh, we need to get Carnage in here, and then it's like, all right, well now what's the story? And then it somewhat came together, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It needed some more work for sure.
Yeah,
it did.
I forget the character, the person who Carnage was inside of their body. I forget the character's name, but yes, I feel like they could have spent a little bit more time separating the two. Just like how Venom and Brock are two different people. Like we know that Carnage was in complete control, but they should have like played more on that relationship. Like Carnage was about to kill old girl several times. And Woody Harrelson's character wasn't as upset, as my opinion, as he should have been. Like you went out of your way to save your wife, and you just gonna let Carnage tell you, yo, like if she screams one more time, she's gonna die. And he didn't even say nothing.
He didn't want to smoke.
He didn't even say like, yo, please don't scream. Like,
he was crazy, but he wasn't that crazy.
His name reminded me of our Among Us days.
Oh, what?
This was Cleotis.
Who was Cleotis?
Oh yeah,
that was
Cleotis.
Oh, I forgot about all that. Yeah, what was my name back then with the quinoa?
Yes.
I was quinoa. That is a superfood grain, by the way, if you don't know.
Shout outs to those who don't eat quinoa. You missing out. Lots of fiber in that bad boy.
Nice fiber and protein alternative. Great supplement.
I'm missing out.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So where's it going?
The group consensus is we don't like it.
Yeah.
Let's just go.
Oh, we gotta rate it. Let me see.
Cool mention. I feel like we can rate this one. Maybe we may not rate Eternals today if we don't want to. It might be too soon. I don't know. And JVM hasn't seen it yet. But I think we can rate Venom. I'm feeling like, is it better or worse than Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Let's start there. Are we looking above? It's worse than Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Yeah.
So we looking down here.
I'd put it over Iron Man 3.
This is bringing up stuff because I still feel like it's don't belong down here. But
it's not better than Warzone. So I'm okay with that. Put it
in the 32 spot.
32 spot. Yeah. 32.
Yeah.
32.
I forgot how low the Wolverine was put. That's so crazy.
Venom.
Oh.
Yeah. I always get away being the imposter. Yeah. Gotta play the system.
Oh man, those days were
It's
fun.
not me. It's not me.
We need to start playing Among Us again. That brought us together.
It did.
Yeah.
It was great for the
We
Discord
Like,
for sure.
can we live stream Among Us gameplay?
Someone would have to pay
Someone
PC.
had to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
if someone
should try to work that out. That'd be cool to do.
we can do that. All right.
Maybe put some
Daddy
wagers on
Yoda.
the side. $1 bets.
So I'll zoom in for those who have not seen. We just added Venom Let There Be Carnage to the master list, the gumbo master.
Ragnarok.
We got Venom Let There Be Carnage in the 32 spot, and we put Shang-Chi in the 5 spot. For now, I hopefully can argue that up just a little bit later.
It'll go up.
We agree
It'll go
it's
up.
top 5.
It'll definitely go up.
It'll move.
I mean, we can move Black Panther to the 5 spot and put Shang-Chi in 4, Infinity War in 3 for right now. If that's what we want to do.
That's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
Hey, yo,
Art of
you saw
persuasion.
how he just moved everything around.
Yes.
Right?
Major changes.
Switched up the whole order and everything.
No. I'm not saying we're not ever going to do that, but we're not going to do that today, sir. You ain't slick. You are not slick.
Yeah.
All right, so next up is Eternals.
I'm gonna trust y'all's vote on this because I haven't seen it.
I don't think we should rank it amongst all of the other films yet. I personally would like to see it again, only because I did not enjoy that, and I felt like I should have enjoyed it more. And okay, there was a lot of hype around Shang-Chi. Like before we went in the theater, I had a bit of an impression that the movie was going to be special because of how much hype it got. Eternals didn't get that. So I would say I wasn't feeling too confident because no one else was confident in the film. Like, I'm talking, there were interviews, articles, like pre-screenings. Everybody loved Shang-Chi before it was open for everybody else to see. Eternals didn't have that. And I see why. It was I'm going to call it a major letdown after seeing Shang-Chi. Like, we just put Shang-Chi in the top 5. And it absolutely deserves to be there. We spoke about that a bit on the show when we reviewed it. And this movie...
just missed the mark, huh?
Yeah.
Who is the main villain in the story? Was Galactus in it?
There's not a main villain. I would say
Fate.
Yeah, it's not. It's no.
Villain?
Oh, they went that route.
No.
Something was.
There's the Celestials pretty much are the villain in this. It's hard. You have to
it's
see
like
it.
infighting.
You have to see it because otherwise I'm going to spoil it for you.
It's fine.
But
this movie is fine. I'm not vested in any
it's
of
more or
these
less
characters.
It's
I can
different.
just tell them.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to.
All right, mute if you don't want to hear no spoilers. So
Spoiler.
Long story short, Earth has a celestial seed in it, and the planet was created to birth a celestial, and humans had to live on the planet and create energy in order to feed the seed in order to birth the celestial. The Eternals' job
Intelligent life.
Come here and help humans grow. They were unaware that their purpose here was to feed the planet so that the celestial could grow. And basically the point of the movie is the celestial has reached its maturity and it's time to be birthed from the planet, thus destroying the planet.
What? Who? So
that wasn't okay.
So how did the people feed the seed?
No, they don't feed the seed. So in
just by
intelligent life, being evolution, intelligent life, you progressing population, I guess, like the intellect, the collective intellect of a planet is what feeds the Celestials. That's what nurtures the Celestial. And once they hit a certain point, certain population cap, certain basically technology level, then the Eternal is based. Well, not the Eternal, but the Celestial is then reaches maturity, and then it is birth. It hatches out of the planet, basically, like an egg, like a chicken.
And it destroys the planet. Destroys
in
it
the process. Yeah, because it's hatching out of the core of the planet, so it in turn destroys the planet, but the Celestial creates galaxies. So basically, the whole
oh, wow.
the
So
whole
Earth is
thing
like-
was like, all right, you sacrifice one planet for the creation of an entire galaxy. That's essentially the trade-off. But the thing is, the Eternals kind of fall in love with humanity. Well, some of them fall in love with humanity, and that's the conflict. It's an eternal conflict.
Infight.
And then they're awoken to their true purpose, and then they have to make a decision as to what is the right thing to do. Do they continue down and follow the, natural, well, the design that the Celestials have created, which is that they protect Earth from the deviants? Because what happened was the deviants were the first creation of the Celestials in order to cultivate life, but the deviants could evolve, and all they would do was just feed on the intelligent life of the planet and prevent the Celestials from being created. So then they created
the deviants
Eternals. Yeah. And this is what's revealed in the movie. So the Celestial creates the Eternals that can't evolve. They're basically like the angels from the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're there to basically protect humanity and all intelligent life that is host to
in order for the Celestial
a celestial seed. Right. So, and they don't know that that's their purpose. So their only purpose, their only goal is to defend the intelligent life that's on that planet from the deviants and prevent the deviants from killing them so that the Celestial can hatch. They're just not aware that. All they know is that they're there to protect intelligent life from the deviants. But the other aspect of that grand design is not revealed to them, and by design of the Grand Celestial. And so so once they are awakened to that reality is where there's the conflict. So
okay.
I feel like that's
where
I feel like it would have been better as a TV show, because all of that lore would have been easier to digest over a series of movies. Like something, if this were on like 45-minute episodes, Disney Plus, like 8 to 10 episodes, this would have been like incredible, because that plot twist would have taken longer to get there. Like I feel like it would have developed better over the course of a series than in this format. And it's also not a blockbuster. Like Shang-Chi is definitely a blockbuster. This would not qualify as a blockbuster.
Yeah, sound like some type of metaphor for like deforestation or climate change or something.
It's more like, it's kind of like Destiny versus like or no, what is it?
Sounds like Conception.
Well,
like a literal human
kind of sort
anatomy,
of, but
like sperm cells in the egg.
You know how like there's the whole thing of like, all right, is your destiny predetermined or do you have free will? That's a lot of what's layered into this story.
A lot of this story was there was a plan set for Earth when Earth came to be, and humans are just living on this planet just to fulfill that destiny.
With pawns.
And two things can be true at once is basically the thing. Like, yes, there is a such thing as destiny, and there was it was written what was supposed to happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean it cannot be changed. It's not set in stone.
So this was well, they probably didn't tie this in, but the King, the Conqueror,
there's
running
no
that
connection.
Timeline.
There's zero connection to any of that.
Right.
Although I would like to see how that's going to play out across universes, because if there are multiple Earths, then
not to say that it isn't connected. They just didn't make
They
any
just
of those
haven't connected it
connections
yet.
to this yet.
Like, I want to know in a future film, was this particular Earth set while other Earths and other universes were not? Like, that's something that they have to address. They have no choice but to address that. If they don't, it would be a miss, because how are you just gonna, give us several examples of in different films and shows about how there's a multiverse and then not address it with Eternals? So they have to make a point of that in a future film to say whether or not this particular planet, what is going to happen to this Earth is the same as going to happen to other Earths. Also,
Yeah.
there's not much connection to any other character. They do mention Thanos, but they don't really say anything else. And you don't see any other Marvel characters. So I'm not even on TV. Like, they didn't even have the Spider-Man thing on the TV. So for all we know, this could be another universe, not to speculate too much. But my beef with the movie, although I do agree with Coop, it would have worked out very well as a show. Even if they decided to keep it as a movie, I felt like some of the character development was lacking. The only character that, in my opinion, was true to themselves was the gentleman who could control minds, who ended up like having a cult in the woods. He took it there. Everybody else played it safe.
He took over the Mayan civilization. That was fire. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, there are instances where they interfere with.
So the sacrifices in the Mayan civilization were to the celestial growth.
No,
that was humanity doing its own thing. So the Eternals, are their job, although they were here to give us the tools that humans needed to grow. I said us, like, for they were also tasked with not interfering. They didn't know at the time, the Eternals didn't know that all that war and stuff was just creating energy to fuel the Celestial. But to them, they're seeing, people getting killed, murdered, bombs going off, and they were uncomfortable with that. So one of the Eternals made it very clear he wasn't happy, he wasn't sticking with it, and he knew he had the power to have Earth be a peaceful place, and he was upset that he couldn't use it. He, in my opinion, was the only character that was true to themselves throughout the film.
And why didn't they know their purpose? Was that explained?
The Celestial blocked their memory and will wipe their memory every single time they had like one of these things. So once they completed their mission, their memory was wiped, and then they just basically the next thing that they remembered was waking up on the mothership and arriving on the planet, starting their mission. Like they didn't even know they had done this previously. Like they're basically robots. Like the Celestial created all of them. And
kind of sound like Raised by Wolves a little bit.
Yes, it's very
There's
much
some
like
of that
Raised by Wolves.
in there.
It's like sci-fi mythology, like it's all type of stuff wrapped into one. There's a lot. I think that they tried to cram into the film that would have been.
It's like 9 characters, right? It's hard to.
Yeah, and like they all are mythological figures from our history. Like there's Gilgamesh, like there's Athena, which is the goddess of war from Greek mythology, who is played by Angelina Jolie. I loved her character.
She was great. Icarus is in the film.
Icarus is great.
Which one is Icarus?
Icarus is the Greek god who flew too close to the sun.
I mean the character that played him.
Rob Stark.
Yes.
Okay.
There was Starks all up and through there.
They were definitely throwing jabs at Superman throughout the movie. They were clearly
absolutely
name drops and all. Like
yes, they reference. This is the first film where I say they reference, besides like Deadpool, where they're like easily referencing DC films.
Literally.
Also,
and Star Wars too. They were.
Not to knock the film too much, but cinematographers were doing their homework. There is a scene which I would love to see side by side where I think it was Icarus was fighting a deviant, and it looked just like the bear scene from The Revenant when he was in
Oh yeah,
Brazil on the
yeah,
floor and the
yeah.
deviant was like shaking him around. Like my mind immediately went to that scene. So
Mm.
like the people involved in this film were definitely pulling from projects they liked. They were referencing it. You could definitely see that in the film. There's no way they created that scene and we're not thinking about The Revenant. There's no way, no how. That was the coolest part of the movie to me. I don't want to like, excuse my language, but shit on the movie because there are great things about the movie, but there was
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, in my opinion, my biggest issue was the lack of character development.
Mm. Yeah, what's the runtime on it?
I think it's
Wasn't short.
2 hours 37 minutes.
Sheesh.
It was not short.
So it's a definite slow drip. Slow drip.
Yeah, that's.
Was Galactus in it?
No, but the Celestials are like. But here's the thing: the way they create, the way they showed the Celestials is, for me, is a good sign of how they're going to execute Galactus because they did show, like,
Planet Eaters.
they're huge. Yeah, like the Celestials are massive. Like they can fit a galaxy in the palm of their hand.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like they're huge, and
So where
you
did they
see
go?
that on scale? They just out exist in the galaxy.
Yeah,
like
they're just
and
there.
they just like they hold their hands like this and
Excuse me.
form a galaxy, and then like they just push it, and they're done. Like,
Dang, like it's
and I'm like,
round of marbles in their hand.
yeah,
or
they
something.
just done. Whole galaxy created, and like
That'd be cool
it's
to
wild,
see.
man. Yeah, it's. I mean, the visuals, like visually, it's a beautiful film. It is beautiful, like but I do agree, like it's slow, and I think that that's why I say it's not a blockbuster at all. Like it's
so
not a
I'm like,
blockbuster.
they'll give you some action and it'll be great, and then you got 30 solid minutes after that with none, not a lick, not nothing, and then a little bit of action, and all right, crickets, lore, a kiss. Oh, they had a sex scene. I hadn't seen that in a Marvel film in a while. Like,
Oh wow! So they really went left with it.
yeah.
Who was knocking boots? H
Um,
Town.
Was it Icarus and Oh Girl? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Icarus flying high to the sun. Huh?
we didn't say all of that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. It's definitely. it's not an action movie. That's for sure.
Would you say the visuals were up there with Doom?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, not at all.
Not even close.
Mike Porter, I agree with you. Dune is a lot slower than Eternals, but I think I was expecting Eternals to have more action than what we got. I think that's where it falls. I think we've been accustomed to getting a certain level of action from Marvel films, and this didn't have that at all. To the point where, high key, they could have just given us a film without as much action and really went deep into the lore and told the stories of these people, and I wouldn't have been too upset. Like, don't just give me action just to give me some action.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
When it comes
I mean,
on Disney Plus, I'll check it out.
I didn't have any expectations going into it, and I didn't leave. I left indifferent to it. Like, there was some. It's definitely worth. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody go see it in the theaters. That's for sure. It's definitely worth watching on Disney Plus. Like it should have been on Disney Plus.
I agree with you, Kubik. It would have done very well as a show. Dat Boy Steve says, off topic, but how y'all think they're going to do MCU Fantastic Four? We've already been their origin twice. Do you think we're going to see it thrice?
Nope.
I don't think we're going to get an origin story. I think we may get a movie at some point, but we're going to see the Fantastic Four in another film.
I think Fantastic Four and Kang are going to be closely related. I think we'll see and maybe tease Fantastic Four in Ant-Man and Quantumania, because that's literally right up. What's his name? Damn, that's fantastic. I'm blanking on his name.
Richards?
Reed Richards.
Reed
Yeah,
Richards.
why did I blank on his name? Yeah, that's quantum stuff is all up his alley. So
we may also see them individually. Like they would have already been the Fantastic Four, but we may see them as individuals before we see a Fantastic Four screen.
Yeah, we'll get a. I mean, the Fantastic Four movie is not going to be an origin story, if that's what you're asking.
JBM, I do agree with Mike Porter. It would be great to see IMAX or RPX if you can. It is worth the watch.
Okay, well, I got 3 free movie passes, movie credits. Maybe I'll use it
coming out this
For
year
AMC,
for Regal Cinema.
you gotta wait a bit. Regal won't let you use them when like the movie just came out, so you gotta like wait a couple weeks. It's ridiculous.
Regal cheap.
They're whack.
Yeah, they are.
Opening.
It's whack.
But I would say absolutely use that there. Try to see it RPX.
Okay.
It's still in RPX, and just pay for the difference in the two.
All right. Maybe I'll do it in IMAX because I can do slower movies in IMAX. The fast-paced movies kind of trigger my vertigo, all that. Hey,
Yeah. Okay. I would say that this is definitely a safer movie then, because it's not a lot happening action wise on screen. Not a lot of camera motion either.
Except for that one scene that I mentioned, the revelation that I swear I need to see it side by side because it's almost like it's the same exact artwork. They just flipped the monster and the bear around.
So this was interesting. I remember the critic score came out initially. This was like at a 53, and now it's down to a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is for
43
Eternals.
is low,
and the audience score was hovering around the mid 70s, low 80s. So it's now settled, I guess, in 80%. I think that 70. I think 65, 70 is fair in my opinion for it. It's not like on a 7-point scale, like that's what, like a C, somewhere in that CD range. I would put it. I wouldn't
C minus
70.
Yeah. I wouldn't 40. 40. That's. I think that's a little extreme on the low side, and then 80 is a little fanboyish, fangirlish.
I'm not surprised that the critics felt that way though.
I'm not either, but I feel like that's a little too low because it's not that bad. Like there are films worse than this that are ranked higher than 40 something.
Oh gosh,
unnecessary.
I think you'll like it more than Captain Marvel. I'll say that.
I agree.
I think you'll like it more than Captain Marvel. I don't.
Okay.
You just go in there and just watch it.
That's saying a lot.
Just go in there and watch it because like you have to watch it. Like
Captain Marvel at the bottom. Every movie is gonna be better than that if you wanted it so far on the list.
But it's like Marvel's like the bottom, like the foundation of the cement.
Oh my god.
The foundation of the cement. It's hard dirt.
Red clay.
Red clay. Oh man.
I'm weak.
But yeah. I mean, I think, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
60s.
Right.
Somewhere in the 60s, I think.
I think I'm vested now.
I don't it like I said, it's not a blockbuster, so don't go in there expecting it to get a blockbuster. That's not what this is.
You know what? Go in there with the lowest of expectations. That way you leave on a high note.
I don't know what your impressions
go in
are
there
from the
thinking,
trailers.
Does it have Legends of the Fall type of epic vibe to it?
It's
Legends
it's
of the
more
Fall.
like
It's
a
good.
Iliad and the Odyssey type of epic.
Mm.
It's mythology. It's just like it's slow, Like it's like it's not a. It's a moral. It's a tale of morality more so than a superhero film.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know what your impressions are from the trailer. I would say because I didn't know what the hell the movie was about watching the trailers, and I went into it not knowing what it was about, and kind of felt like, okay, that was cool. Like so.
Yeah, seeing the trailer, I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, just go in there with that energy. You'll be fine.
All right. Cool deal.
I don't think we can rank it. It wouldn't be appropriate to rank it yet. So we're gonna let
Yeah,
Jamie.
we'll let
and
JPM watch it.
we can circle back to it.
All right. So we got Doom next.
Doom.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Sorry,
Dude.
I didn't mean to yell.
Hey, well, quick. Are we gonna talk about? Have we all seen Bond?
I haven't
'Cause I
watched
forgot it. You have not seen it? Okay, never mind. We'll skip it. Doom.
Bond.
Doom.
Yeah,
Doom.
say
I'm
Bond for
gonna
later.
try to see it next week.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Blonde. I'm about to say blonde. Bond has people,
In they
people
feelings.
have some things to say about it.
They have some things to say.
Understandable, understandable.
All right, I'm gonna make sure I see it next week, and then maybe we can get back on here if our schedules will allow us. We have that chat.
All right.
I'm making my plan to get in sometime next week. Oh my God,
With the hot. Oh man, that's funny.
I'm feeling it.
Legends of the Fall
Yeah.
watch party.
Hey,
Who's got it? Where's it streaming?
I wonder if it is streaming.
Oh, all
Mike Porter
That's
dropping
wild.
bombs in the comments.
Dang, I'm ready to talk about Dune.
Bond
Let's
was
get into
born. Doom
Okay,
was born.
can I just say something about Dune real quick?
Oh, Porter liked everything.
I have watched the movie.
With the Marvel tag.
I read the book.
Oh, okay.
And I saw like the first hour, maybe a little less, of the 80s movie. And I can just tell you that movie is a terrible interpretation of the book and does not deserve to be watched. I was watching that.
Oh, wow. That's a strong take.
How did
that movie is like the new movie is pretty much the old movie. They like took that almost scene for scene.
I'm as far as how much they exaggerated things. Like
what was that?
The Baron is a terrible individual. He's a horrible person. But he's more evil than he is nasty, if that makes sense. And that movie made him nasty.
With the swords and all that.
But not just that, with just his behavior and his antics, it was just all bad, and it takes away, in my opinion, from how evil he is. It was reminding me of like the Wiz.
The Wiz.
The scene when like by the Wicked Witch and all that stuff. That was the vibes it was giving me, and he was floating all around the room. Like, that's not what happened in the book. Now, that said, I also feel the book was amazing. I'm sad that it took me so long to read it. It was outstanding. I've actually been going back and reading certain parts, and I am looking forward to reading the next books because I want to continue on that series. Now, against the new movie, there is a lot of history and culture in the book that is not in the film, to the point where the film was a bit of a letdown there. Like, there's a lot of rich history behind the Bene Gesserit. Like, the movie doesn't tell you just how significant the Bene Gesserit is to the plot line of the story, and then also how powerful and how important Jessica is. Like, the Reverend Mother hints at it by telling Paul that he has more than one birthright, but like, she was looking a little weak in the Dune movie, and she was not scared or frightened or meek at all. Like, the scene in the Dune film where she's in the newer film where he is in the room with the Reverend Mother and his hand is in the box and she's outside crying and stuff, shaking. That ain't happening in the book. Sis had full confidence. She was nervous for her son, and I don't think she was not confident that he would not pull through, but she was more so upset that she had to put him through that pain, but she wasn't out there like crying.
I see. So what parts of the culture did they miss?
I mean, everything from the Bene Gesserit and Paul's relationship with his mother. A lot of information was missing about his father's father, so his grandfather. They hint at the bull a little bit in the movie, but the bull is referenced a lot in the book. Paul's grandfather, who was, I guess, the king of the House of Atreides, or the first Duke, was an avid hunter, and he was killed by a bull. So that bull that they keep showing that was in the home was the actual head of the bull that killed him. But they talk about that relationship and how, you know, he consistently like chose to do something that was dangerous, and it's referenced a lot. I don't want to go too far because the movie is not the entire book, so I definitely don't want to spoil things, but they don't talk enough about the history of the Atreides family. They don't talk enough about the Bene Gesserit. They definitely don't talk about how oppressive the Harkonnens were to the people of Arrakis. Like in the book, not only do they talk about them very poorly, but they're just very like evil to them. And I don't want to get into it because they're gonna see more of it in the next film. But okay, something I can say in the book, they spoke a lot like nastily about the Fremen, and specifically they spoke about the suits, the steel suits that they were wearing, the Harkonnens, and even the Atreides family, because they were only going off of what they had heard, had the impression that the Fremen were very nasty, dirty people, that they stunk because of their suits. And like that's not even mentioned in the book. In the film. I don't know for sure because in the book, I don't know if they touched on whether or not there's actually a stench, but before even meeting the Fremen, the book outlined that they were grotesque, nasty, vile people, violent, evil. But I don't want to go too deep, especially after learning what I learned today on that podcast. JBM, if you want to talk to them about that too, that might help. But yeah, so let me scale back. The movie was good, but the book is like 10,000 times better. Like 10,000. Like it's not even the difference between like Harry Potter and the books. No, the book is like 1,000,000 times better, and it's more in depth, and the movie removes a lot of the culture of these people. It just kind of like pushes it. Just I'm not interested in that.
All right, man. That sounds like it was a lot that was missed out. It seems like they focus more on getting visuals in there and just hitting scenes. I don't know. It seemed a lot like the original movie in the 80s. Like the beats were almost identical.
It's like it's a hybrid between the book and the original film. This one follows the book closer than the film did from the 80s. But I mean, to Amani's point, there's a lot of details that are still left out. Like honestly, if they were going to do it if they were going to actually make this a thing, like they would make it a TV show, because you're not going to fit all of that into it, because it's still at like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and they still don't really cover all of the detail from the book in this movie. But like I think if they wanted to do a true adaptation, they would have to make it like an HBO Max TV show series that could run a full season, like, because you need hour-long episodes, if that. Maybe 10, 15 episodes in order to get this completely rendered, I would say. But I think the execution of this film is far better than the original film, for sure. Like wholeheartedly, without question. Like this is the best film I've seen this year, in my opinion. Like, damn, losing my voice. Haven't seen. I'd like visually, the story, cinematography, the characters, everything that happened on screen. I haven't seen a better movie than this year.
I don't disagree with that. I also don't think I should refer to the Dune film as an adaptation of a book. I think the Dune film is a remake of the previous film, and they just happen to go in the order that the book goes, because the first film jumps all over the place. I mean, the first scene of the movie, you're seeing a navigator that doesn't come until much later in the book. You don't even see those you don't even hear about the navigators when the book begins. So like, as of this point where the movie ends, we don't even know the importance of the spice and or how the spice is used in space travel, I should say, in the book. You don't know how yet. They start the first movie with that. So I would say this is a remake of the movie, but going in the order that it's supposed to go in. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So if you think about it that way, you won't be too upset. And I wouldn't even say that I'm upset, because just like Coop said, there's so much rich history and just so many pockets they can go in, that this, in order to do it justice, it would need to be a show.
Yeah, I remember
this would be a great show. Like,
Denis Villeneuve was announced to be directing the reboot of Dune. I remember he said then that he wanted this to be a trilogy. Like that was his idea. So he already had in his head, like I think he had already started working on this long before he was even given the assignment to direct this film. Like I think he had already started kind of sort of making this series of movies in his own head. So like, yeah, it's no surprise to me, because it is announced that they're doing a part 2, and I think part 3 was confirmed recently, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. I think, but you know, part 2 is definitely filming in July of next year. But he did double down and say in an interview with IGN last week that, you know, he imagines this as a 3-part series, like a 3-part film, a trilogy. So yeah, this second movie is going to be very interesting, because I'd imagine that the second part is going to cover a lot of the lore and a lot of the culture, especially of the Fremen, that we didn't get in the first movie. Possibly,
it'd be the perfect opportunity to do it.
And I think that if you continue to develop the relationship between Zendaya's character and Timothy Chalamet,
the guy,
I think that you will get I think they can, as they learn about each other, they'll have conversations about their own personal history, the Atreides history through and then the Fremen history.
I think
that's the way they could do it.
There will be a Dune 3. Villeneuve did confirm that there will be a third film. However, it will be based more on the second Dune book, Dune Messiah. So he's going to wrap up this book in
this part 2.
In part 2, but the third film, which will be at that. And I've heard a lot about the second book. The second Dune book is really supposed to be the main purpose of the author's. Yeah, like what he really wanted to achieve, but he just couldn't feel it all in the book. So the main end goal is going to be in that book. And it'll be in the movie, which is why he wishes for a trilogy. And as of right now, that's all he wants to do. He said his vision is a trilogy, and that's that.
I was wondering how they were going to fit 3 parts from the first book.
I felt like there was enough book to do it, especially, well, I mean, if they are taking out as much as they took out for this first film, then yeah, it would be easy to fit. Because, I mean, in my opinion, I was hoping that they were going to pack in some of the culture, but after doing some more research, they're not as interested in bringing the book to life as I would like them to be. So a lot of stuff is going to get kicked to the curb. But
yeah,
Porter,
I think one thing, if y'all want to hear some good content on the story, NPR had a podcast on Dune, I want to say a couple weeks ago, through their Throughline series. They talked a lot about Dune and its Islamic influences and metaphors for colonialism and what happens after the revolution and things like that.
Yeah.
So if that
You
interests
got
you,
the if we'll
check it
drop the
out.
link in the comments. Oh,
I
there
just
it
dropped it.
is.
Boom.
Definitely go check that out. And also, I'll just close on saying, like, once again, like I started at the top, this is definitely, in my opinion, a movie worth to see in the theaters. Like, this is a theatrical experience. Like, you have to see this on the big screen. It's worth going to see on the big screen. I understand why Denny fought so hard to get this movie on the big screen and not to HBO Max release, because watching on the big screen, like, I know I've got access to it on HBO Max. I can watch it right now, but I have no interest in watching it on HBO Max right now. Like, I wanted, like, if I go see this again, I'm gonna go see it in the theater because it was that good to me. I mean, like, that I needed that type of cinematic experience. Like, it's been so long since I actually sat in a theater and watched a movie like this, where it from a, I know it doesn't cover everything from the book, but it does take its time to tell the story, and it does in a great cinematic way, in my opinion. Like, it's like giving me like Lawrence of Arabia type vibes, like this old school filmmaking standards where, like, the story was the most important part. And then
Him always trolling. That dude crazy.
and then, we dive into, like, I don't know, it's something. I feel like what they did with the movie is easy for people who hadn't followed along and hadn't read the book before. It's easy for you to follow along the story.
I don't know about that. I would say the opposite. I would say if you weren't familiar with the story, it might be hard for you to follow. Because I went to watch it with 9 other people, and I want to say only about 3 of us like followed the movie from beginning to end. Majority of the people I went with were like, "What is going on?"
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Like, I mean, that was wild. But okay,
Yeah. But I feel like if you listen and pay attention,
yeah, you definitely have to pay
you
attention.
can follow it. But there is this, like, they could have did better with telling the story, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you
right.
like Paul Atreides, real quick? How'd you like his depiction? He just felt like he was half asleep the whole movie.
I mean,
Like he needed like iron pills or something.
the actor looks a little sickly.
I
guess
didn't
it was the
mind Paul.
visions.
Yeah, I didn't mind Paul.
I feel like the Paul from the 80s movie was a better Paul. I like that Paul.
I hate that movie so much. It's hard to like, it's not even the actor's fault. That movie just makes me so angry. It's
did the book have the alien in it?
Not yet.
Spice eater or the user?
Not yet. No, they start the movie with that.
The alien is wild.
They don't even mention, like, at this point in the book, how the spice is used in space travel has not been mentioned yet. It just hasn't. Like, we know that the spice is important, but you don't know how it's used. Like, at this point, you're thinking and the spices, what am I trying to say? At this point, you're thinking it's used like oil or gasoline. That's
okay. So you just know it's being refined and all that.
That's what you have to make that assumption because you're not told.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like,
so you just know it's a valuable resource.
Right. But you don't know how it's used yet. You have no idea.
Gotcha.
They hint at it in the film. They hint at like when the film opens and the emperor's people come and they have this whole ceremony of the Duke signing the form saying that he's gonna go, he asks his right hand man, whose name escapes me, how much it costs for them to get there. And he, did some quick math and he was like, it costs 3 guild navigators. But at this point, you don't know what a guild navigator is, and that the guild navigator is what uses the spice. But in the first movie, they start with that. Like, bam.
The pain.
In the book, it's really cool. So I can see why they were hyped to do that, but it's also confusing because you don't know what's going on. Like, what?
I would say that the book has about as much detail as the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Here's a question though, and these are all 3 very different movies, but I want to see how y'all rank them. Dune. Oh, Monty, you haven't seen No Time to Die. I was going to say Dune, No Time to Die, and Shang-Chi.
As much as I love Shang-Chi, Dune was great.
Yeah, Dune was
great. I don't want to compare it. I don't.
Like, if I had, it's 2 completely different movies, but if I could only like pick one of those to rewatch today, it would be Dune.
Word. I think I'd go with Shang-Chi.
It's tough. It's a tough pick between 2 for me. I would probably pick Shang-Chi just because I know I could go read a book for real.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Villeneuve is he's a terrific sci-fi director. Like,
yeah.
Are we?
I would say he's.
Are we pronouncing Villeneuve right?
I haven't noticed. I haven't tried it yet because I don't want to mess it up. Villanova.
No, that I know Villanova. No, that's not the correct pronunciation. Villeneuve is not the.
Yeah. Dune cinematically was great, but I feel like Shang-Chi is like I get more entertainment from
those L's
Shang-Chi.
are definitely silent.
Villeneuve. Villeneuve.
Bienvenidos.
I think it's Villeneuve.
You Island. Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve. Google it. Google Translate.
I've
Google
heard
audio.
him pronounce his full name, and it is like, it is wild. I'm wildly off on the pronunciation. Like, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, I've heard him pronounce his name. It's yeah. It is yeah.
Side note, I watched Arrival last week, and this guy was definitely the right person to do Dune.
Oh, he did Arrival. Okay, I can see it. I can see the similarities.
Arrival is a great film. It's on demand somewhere.
Prime, I think.
It might be.
I feel like that'd be on Prime. Seems like a Prime movie.
I'm gonna check it real quick. If y'all have not seen Arrival, that's a good movie. That's a great movie. It's on Epix if you have cable.
So with Doom, I just had a random question pop in my mind. Chat, y'all can chime in too. If you have
he also did Sicario.
He did Sicario?
Yeah, he did Sicario.
Hey.
That's my movie. He didn't do the second one though.
No.
Yeah, that's why it was a letdown.
Yeah, the second was completely felt like a whole different movie.
Whack a doodle. What were you saying, JBM?
What was I saying? Oh, with Doom, if y'all could pick like any faction in that world to join, like the Bene Gesserit, House of Atreides, House Harkonnen, the what do you say, the Emperor's army? What are they? The Harkonnens? No,
no, that's another house.
You know darn well I'm trying to be a witch.
The Fremen?
Be up for the Bene Gesserit for real.
The Bene Gesserit.
I'm trying to be a witch. You get all up in there, control people.
So there is a TV series that's coming for Dune. And it's about the
Let the chat do what the chat do, man.
We were letting it go.
Yeah,
We were
called
letting
The
it
Sister
go.
do your thing.
Yeah, that was fine. It's not y'all cool. Have a conversation in the chat. That's perfectly fine. It was on topic. I mean, it's one of the topics we were talking about, so it's not an issue at all.
He gonna be a Fremen. I can dig it.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
with
think
that.
he wants to be a worm.
Yeah, he wants to actually be the one.
Oh, you want to be the worm? You want
Yes.
to be the hairy booty hole?
I wasn't gonna.
Oh man.
I wasn't even thinking about it that way.
Me and Monica saw it. We immediately was like hairy booty hole.
Someone on Twitter did swap out the Magic School Bus clip when they're going through the stomach, and somebody's put like,
oh shoot!
they put the sandworm from Dune on there.
That's funny. Okay, he want to be the. So yeah, he's a Fremen then. He'd be a Fremen.
Look out for part 2.
Yeah, and also Doom Sisterhood.
I don't know. I think I need some AC. I might need to be in one of those houses.
I would have said they're tradies, but they did.
Yeah, they get gone.
Yeah, they out. So for him.
Maybe I'll be in the Imperial house. Give me that.
What's that? I forget the faction of assassins that he has. Oh man,
Who's assassins?
The Imperial assassins.
Yeah, his army,
white
right?
Suits.
Yeah, I forget their name. It starts with like a H or a S. What's their name? Let's see.
Yeah. Okay.
Imperial Legion. Sardaukar. Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I
it.
was about to say.
Sardaukar.
I absolutely encourage people to check out that podcast. JBM put me on, and I
concur.
I didn't have a lot of like knowledge about the writer and his reasonings for writing the book, and also the research that he had to do to create it and to write it. But after listening to the podcast, I now understand that he did a lot of work to do this, and it was interesting to hear, and it puts a lot of the movie and a lot of the book into perspective to the point where I want to research other things to understand why he made certain decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting how he was like a journalist and he would write about actual sand dunes in his work, and then he gravitated into a novelist and used his knowledge on dunes and started the story on Dune. That was interesting. They mentioned that in the book, in the podcast. They mentioned did they say 100 or 200 books?
200.
Speculated that he researched.
He read over 200 books in order to do research for Dune. In order to write Dune. But it shows, it's very clear in the book that he did all of that research. And I don't know too much about Islam, which is why I didn't pick up on things. But now knowing how much Islamic culture, and not just Islamic culture, but the Middle East in general, how much it affected the book and the decisions and the people. I feel like I need to read other things in order to understand. Because I feel like I'm missing out on stuff because I don't know the original intentions and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
That boy Steve, feel you. We absolutely feel you.
Oh, was there? There's not an update on that.
I'm avoiding it. It's
okay.
Yeah, I just give me I don't even want to see it on my TV anymore. Just let me know what they do because it's all mess with that kid.
I saw those crocodile tears from the other day.
Oh yeah, those things. Yeah, that stuff. That was the last thing I saw. But anyways, on to
The Harder They Fall.
Oh yeah.
Let's do a watch party, and
you a
life was life in this. I do apologize.
Oh man.
So maybe I can make that happen. If y'all want, I could do it during the day tomorrow. I will ask in the Discord, or I can make it happen on Saturday. But we got to leave Sunday open for Harry Potter at 7:00. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Potter. Yes. Chamber of Secrets.
So
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Discord.
If you have not seen The Harder They Fall, step out for 2 seconds.
Yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you don't want, this is spoiler for Harder They Fall because we about to spoil.
Do we have to spoil it to give it praise?
Absolutely,
a little bit.
The
spoiler, everybody dies.
Just FYI for everybody in the Discord, just make sure you pay attention to the events tabs because we'll be posting what events, watch parties, things of that nature, and that. Not sure why Discord didn't send out an like alert or an announcement or whatever the hell when you post an event. I don't know why it does that, but just pay attention to the tab, and we'll be sure to like try to mention you guys in the announcements when we do post an event, so you can say whether or not you're interested. But now you've had enough time to turn the tab, mute us, do whatever you got to do to avoid spoilers. We're going to get into it. Let's go.
The Harder They Fall was great. I would put it up there as in my top 3. I definitely need to watch 007. So, maybe that'll add that in there. But The Harder They Fall was great. That was a good movie.
I liked it. It was very stylish. It had like Tarantino vibes, like a mix of Tarantino and like some other director.
But like no hard ERs.
Right?
Yeah.
I like how they played with that too. The one dude.
They tested it, but the didn't get.
It didn't get there. Did he?
Maybe he was gonna call you a nincompoop.
Oh, man,
we ain't no nincompoops.
You know I'm fast with the blam blams. That's my favorite line.
Fast with the blam blam. Yo, they really made you fall in love with characters and killed them.
Yeah, they did. Well, you knew that was
classic
coming.
Western, man. It was a classic Western. I loved it, man. It was like this is a very good classic Western right here, man.
Very spaghetti Western, yeah. New, like a new style to it though. Like the music was all modern and hip.
See, easy for that.
You know what's wild though, because you bring up they killed the characters, but like that's Western. Like I full on expected everybody to die. Except for like the main character, because
I was expecting everybody to die. One person might walk away from this.
Yeah, everybody.
At one point, I was like, Regina King gonna wake up from that mollywop.
Well, see, I thought that she might be one of the survivors. Then once it's revealed, she's one of the bad guys. I'm like, all right, she out of here. Like, I
liked her. She was
in
good.
Western.
Was she from like Louisiana? Her character?
I think so. Her accent
definitely.
Was
she
very,
had that like
very New Orleans.
You saw how like she had injected like some Jamaican and like it was like
Creole
a real Gullah Creole type accent. Like I thought she really did a good job of that with that accent.
She was fantastic.
Lakeith Stanfield was probably like my standout. I felt Cherokee Bill. I was like, man, Cherokee Bill going through it. He looked Bill Pickett in the eyes. He's like, nah, don't do that, man. Nah, don't be afraid.
The woman who played Cuffy.
Oh yeah, she was great too.
She did a great job.
It was cool to see that character, because the real life character is she like imitated a man and got into the army.
Yes, Cathay Williams was the first Black woman to fight in a war because she dressed up as a man and switched the name. So her real name is Cathay Williams. She changed her name to William Cathay. And
yeah, that's a crazy. That story is like that's wild.
Hey, speaking of, did y'all see that Regina King, her talk about the cameo? Well, not the cameo, the Easter egg with the train.
The train, yes. The name of the train was C.A.
Bozeman.
For Chadwick Boseman. The scene where they killed the man for the almost Urin. C.A. Bozeman was on the side of the train.
Yes, and that was for Chadwick. So that was a nice touch. Love that.
Yeah, Man, I mean, that went over my head. I didn't see that.
She had to make a video about it. I don't think a lot of people would.
Yeah, no, it went over everybody's head. Like it was a video online that she put in like
Oh shit.
in an interview, and it's probably like a clip from them doing the press for the movie, and she answered. I only saw the clip though, but yeah, she did say she confirmed that that's who it was in reference to, and
So
homage to.
did she live by the end of it, or did
I
that
think so, because there was a person standing holding her hat by the end of the movie.
really? I missed that.
I think they hinted that she lived.
I mean, I didn't see her really die. I seen her get knocked out.
Exactly.
Like
It
that
might
was
have been
a
sleep
meme.
time. Or girl didn't have.
I didn't understand why Stagecoach Sally just didn't shoot her while she was down. That didn't make sense.
I have some reasons, but I'll keep it to myself.
Oh, what's the reason? What's the
I'm
reason?
like,
Let's
wow,
talk
we
about it.
talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it. We here. We here now.
There's been some.
When else we gonna talk about it?
People have had some issues with the casting of that particular character, especially knowing that the real Stagecoach Sally didn't look anything like that. So maybe they casted someone who was a little softer, so they made the character a little softer because real Stagecoach Sally wouldn't have had that. That's just my opinion. Would y'all like to know what the real Stagecoach Sally looked like?
I know
saw
what she looked
pictures.
like.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it for the stream,
Do it for the
do it for the viewers.
So she's alive. All right. So she made it.
They said that at the beginning of the film, but all of the characters were based on real people, but they weren't actually in these particular situations. But Stagecoach Sally was a woman who worked for the post office, and she had one of the roughest routes ever. And she got the job because she showed up with a loaded gun and ready to take the route. And all she had to do was hitch up the horses on the buggy. And that's all she needed to get the job. And the entire time she delivered the mail, she was never late. She had to fight off bandits and wolves to deliver the mail for the particular route she had. She had to beat even white men to get the position.
That's what's up.
She was quick with the blam blams.
That's a story right there.
Very quick with the blam blams. But that's the real Stagecoach Sally, pictured here with her weapon because she's about that life.
Look at them hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she about it.
That's all you need to know.
About it.
You look at her, you know she about it.
Absolutely about it. So I don't know why the character in the movie wasn't as about it. Maybe it's because they made her a little too soft.
I saw what was I forget the girl from Lovecraft Country, but a lot of people were like saying why wasn't she cast?
Oh, she would have been good too.
She would have been great.
Yeah, like I agree.
Yeah, I don't think now that y'all mentioned that the girl that did play like Sally, they could have did a better casting in my opinion.
They could have done a much better casting.
She didn't fit the Western like vibe. I felt like. No knock to her though. She's a great actress. The
actress you're speaking of is Wunmi Mosaku.
Yeah, she would have been great.
I know why I'm disappointed. I don't even want to say it out loud. It was not unnecessary, but Wunmi would have killed that.
Who?
Wunmi Mosaku. She
Who's
played
that?
In Lovecraft Country. That's the actress.
Oh, her.
Or even if they wanted an actress that could sing, Danielle Brooks.
Didn't she sing in Lovecraft Country?
She did. See, look,
she was perfect. That's perfect casting. The internet casted her correctly because the internet remains undefeated. Internet remains undefeated. That would have been a great casting, man. That's my biggest gripe right there for the movie, because I did see that casting online for the character prior to seeing the movie, and I was like, yeah, that would have been great.
And you need her to be sexy.
All up in the mic.
Who can be very JBM? Who's the sponsor for tonight?
We got apparently. Forgot where I was for a second. Deer Park. Deer Park. For all your hydration needs.
Lord.
And even if they wanted the character to be more sexy, Wunmi proved that she was more than sexy on Lovecraft Country. So I'm not really sure. I mean, we know why, but still not happy about it. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I'm happy about the reason. It don't make no sense. None.
Yeah, it was very much like Django without the hard R's.
Django?
I will put the violence on there with the other Tarantino film, The Hateful Eight, where they kept punching the lady.
Hey, yo,
like
I don't know.
Magnificent Seven vibes or Quick and the
Magnificent
Dead.
Seven. Yeah, Magnificent Seven is a good one. The reboot. That part when Idris' character punched the gold teeth out of the dude's mouth and was like, "Hey, boy, come here, get the gold."
Oh, Dion Cole, he surprised me. Seeing Dion Cole in a dramatic role like that, he did well because he's a stand-up comedian.
They had a lot of people in
Blackish and
they did
and Grownish. Yeah.
There was a guy on there who got popular off of Instagram, right?
I'm not surprised.
Which one was that? Was he the Blam?
Who played Bobby Brown in the miniseries on?
Oh, he was. Was he in it?
What did he play?
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was one of the Crimson Hood gang members.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Damon Wayans Jr. was in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool to see him in it.
Yes, look just like his dad.
Yeah,
I could have been in this movie for real. There was a lot of people in there.
Speaking of Damon Wayans Jr., if y'all like a rom-com, check out Love Guaranteed on Netflix. That's a nice little rom-com. You know, get booed up or something. Go watch that. Damon Wayans Jr.
What's your favorite scene in the movie?
My favorite scene? I like the scene where Nat Love and Delroy Lindo's Bass Reeves, they're stuck behind the horses. The Crimson Hood gang runs up on them, and they have to they like come out real quick and just take all of them out. Like Nat Love uses a horse to kind of maneuver around a couple of them. It was just a cool sequence.
Yeah, I like the camera use in that action sequence. I love the intro, like that with the Crimson Hood. That was very
Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, the Crimson Hood gang going through the valley. I love that.
That wasn't the intro.
Well, not the intro, but like first act, them coming through.
The first introduction of the Nat Love gang.
Yes,
that was
intro of the Nat Love gang.
For me, it's the scene where Trudy is talking to Sally or Mary, Stagecoach Mary, and is
before they fight.
When they have Stagecoach Mary locked up, when she's telling a story about the girl who
that was a good I like that.
An apple.
Oh yeah, that was a
good.
That was a great dramatic scene. Yeah, that's
I need to step my apple peeling game up for this holiday. You just gave us a quick lesson. I need to cut apples like that. Bust the knife out. Ain't no peeling. The knife peeler.
That was a good scene. I also like the scene with the other deputy that was eating the steak, and like it was a close up, and he was acting like he was talking to Rufus.
Yeah, Dion Cole's character.
Yeah, and then it back down.
Sheriff. He was the sheriff. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
Oh, that was great. I was like, yo, I was watching it like, yo, he talking real tough. And then it just zooms out and there's nobody there. I was like, oh man, that was great. That was a funny moment.
Also, when Stagecoach Mary enters the saloon and the blue woman is dancing and taking her to Rufus Buck, that was cool too.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was like a slow-mo scene, right?
Yeah, it reminded me of the episode from Lovecraft Country where the I forget her name, but the little sister is like cursed and the dancing people are following her around.
Oh wow.
Oh man, I would not have gone there, but yeah.
I mean, in a good way, it reminded me of that. Not in a bad way. That was a scary scene, but this was prettier.
Hold on. When did Rufus Buck do a magic trick?
With the kid, remember when he got out of jail?
Off the train?
Nah, so it was after he found out that they was broke and they got robbed by the
Nat
the
Love.
Nat Love gang, and he was coming out, and he passed by a stagecoach that had like fruit and vegetables on it, and he grabbed an orange or something, and he's peeling it, and he's walking, and these kids run by, and he's like, hey, come here, show you a magic trick, and he takes his hat off, and he's holding the orange out, and he puts the hat over the orange. He's like, watch real close now. And he pulls his hat away. He's like, I'll just bet you with it. It's still there. And he keeps moving.
I missed that.
Well, I missed that completely. I might have been.
He's out. He's like, come here. Want to see magic trick? Now watch real close now. I'm just messing with you. It's still there. And he just keeps moving. He starts laughing. It was. You got to watch it.
I gotta watch it again. I was a little
watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching it, I had to watch it in 2 parts, but that's not because of the movie. That's because
that John was hilarious.
Yeah, that might have been when I had to walk away for a second.
It was funny. Definitely. Yeah, it's like right after jailbreak, and they get back to his town. It's right before the fight with him and the sheriff. He knocks
that jailbreak scene was kind of cool. When he walks out and he's like, did he give them one word command or something? Or does he motion his hand and then they just slow-mo him walking through the volley of bullets?
Nah, he says all of them except for this one.
Yeah.
And they just start firing.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That movie was worth the watch. It was great. It was exciting at home. I wish, although I understand the whole point of Netflix films are like for them to be on Netflix, it would be nice if every once in a while they've launched in theaters. That would have been dope to watch The Harder They Fall in theaters. Like hearing those gunshots and surround sound, different. That would have been a great watch.
Yeah.
How'd
y'all like the big plot twist at the end? That put like that made the movie like
that was great.
That made the whole journey worth it.
That stressed me out.
I did not. Yeah, I didn't.
I was like, why is he laying back? Like, what is going on? I didn't
want him to do it. I was like, yo, it's like in killing his brother, he kind of gave him the easy way out. In my opinion, imagine if he did all of that and then he let him live. Like, no, you did this and you get to live with it. You don't just get to die and now I'm by myself. You should be able to live knowing that I know you did this to me and that you ruined that. I feel like, I don't know, he took the easy way out by asking him.
I don't think he cared about that.
I know. I mean, he was upset. He lost his mom and his dad.
Well, I mean, Rufus Buck's character. I don't think it would have been torture for him to stay alive. I think Nat Love did exactly what Rufus Buck like wanted, so that he could feel like he got full revenge on his dad.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like Nat shouldn't have killed his brother because now he gave him exactly what he wanted. In my opinion, Rufus Buck won. Yeah, he's dead, but he won. He accomplished his mission. He won. He turned his brother into the exact thing his father didn't want him to be. And so by not only,
I mean, shoot, it's already too late for that.
And he
it was too late.
It was too late for that. He already did that.
Right,
he set him on that path
of Rufus.
Yeah. Like, the moment he put that cross on his forehead, it was done. It was over.
It's over. It's signed, sealed, delivered. It's the Western, man. It's it's the West. This is Wild Wild West. Like, yeah, everybody out there is just lost.
Yeah, I was like, why is he hanging back? Like, I was like, why ain't he getting involved in this firefight? Then he reveals it. I'm like, okay.
It completed the whole movie. Like, I was like, okay, now all of that makes sense. Like, I was like, okay, dang, didn't see that coming. That was good.
That was a good plot twist.
That was a great plot twist. Like, I was like, man, I'm thinking like, of course, I'm thinking like, yeah, all right, so the dude, because remember he goes and I'm thinking that he's just reformed bandit or whatever, like just something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like the other bandit that I keep forgetting these characters' names, but with the one with the scorpion hand, the scorpion tattoo on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Later, when he kills him in the church, I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, this is all cyclical. Like everything is just. I didn't think that they were going to have that deep of a connection, like of him being his. Like I was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's great is the movie was good anyway. That just
and it just made it even better. Like
if they didn't do that, we would still be sitting here and be talking just as hype as we are. And it didn't need that, and then it did it anyway. That was
yeah. That gave the movie like a purpose, like a raw substance to it. Like
that's what made it a Western.
Cinematic.
Right there. That right there is like, okay, yeah, this is a Western.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Western moment.
Ducky Momo. We definitely didn't. I didn't say there was two post-credit scenes. It was like a mid-credit and an end credit.
What happened?
Told him about the end credit scene. We didn't tell him about the post-credit or the mid-credit. I don't honestly understand too much about it to even talk about it. And also, we do want to encourage him to see the movie. Like, yeah, we told him, but he doesn't really have much context for anything that we told him anyway because he didn't see it. So we're going to let JBM see it.
Those mid-credit and end-credit scenes are online. Like,
that too.
I'll check it.
Yeah, if you want to watch the mid-credit scene and the end-credit scene. But, however, I did see Rob from Comics explain that mid-credit scene and the connection between him and Thanos, and I was like, yo, that blew my mind. I wish they would have explained it. But I forget the character's name that they revealed because it's Harry Styles.
Yes.
But
I was
the singer?
Yeah, the singer, like,
who is it? I keep hearing this name. I don't know who he is.
He's a Titan.
No, he's the
singer.
The singer, Harry Styles. Yo.
Oh man.
His character's not a Titan?
No, he doesn't know who Harry Styles is.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
He was in one of them groups with them boys.
That's so helpful.
We them both.
That just cleared everything up.
What group? Like One Direction or something?
Yeah, he was in One Direction.
The group
he was in One Direction.
You knew the vibes.
Nah, see, that name, he's heard One Direction 1,010,000 times, and he has no idea who is in One Direction. I'm with you. I don't either. Like, I know Harry Styles is in One Direction.
If I hear boy band, I know the most recent one was One Direction.
Now it's like BTS.
Didn't one of them marry Bella Hadid, and now they getting a divorce because he slapped her mom?
Huh?
I'm sure. Why not?
What?
I guess so.
Who slapped whose mama?
One of the One Direction dudes married Bella Hadid, the model. But apparently one day when Bella wasn't home, her mother came to their house and they got into an argument. He slapped her mom in the face, and now they're not together no more.
That's news to me. That sounds like a lot of drama, though.
Trouble.
I don't even know these people, and I was like, oh,
that's crazy. That's mad disrespectful. He should have got bad. That's all. They just broke up. That's all that happened.
I don't know them people, and I wasn't too invested. I just read that little bit. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. But like, apparently, he was also in One Direction.
That's man, that's
sound juicy.
Buckle Lie was a little juicy. I was trying to find other articles, but I was
that's some real juice right there.
Oh goodness gracious!
Sorry,
but anyway, he is internal in the movie, but he is also the brother of Thanos, but he does not look like Thanos, and at all he's very human looking. Like it's just Harry Styles.
Why they cast a pop star?
Because he's kind of like he's got an ego. He's got like a rock style personality.
Yeah.
Does he sing?
He didn't sing in the scene, but he was very like, look at me.
He acts like Thor. Yeah. He's like Thor. Very much like Thor in personality.
I'm not with it.
He's got a rock star personality.
Whatever.
Didn't even
It gave corny vibes, but I think that was intentional.
It's very much like Guardians of the Galaxy. Like he's gonna pop up with the Guardians. Like he fits in that group with them.
I don't want to see a
like
pop star.
You wouldn't even known it was him. You don't even know what Harry Styles looks like.
Pop star vibes. Pop stars can't help because
it took me a minute to realize it was Harry Styles.
I knew instantly. I was like, "Yo, it's that dude that being the boy with the boys." Yeah.
I had heard a rumor that he was in it like a while ago, and then that's when it clicked. I'm like, "Oh, that must be Harry Styles." But he is so Chowder. Thanos is actually an Eternal with a deviant gene.
He's a Titan.
You gotta watch. He's
so that's why I didn't say anything because I don't understand, and I also watched a video and I still don't understand. So I have to do more research.
I thought he was a Titan.
There are Titans, and then you gotta look at. Is
this like accurate stuff, or is this something they added?
No, this is Marvel comic book lore. Like Rob from Comic Explain is who put this. Like he's a comic book expert. He made the.
Let me see if I can grab that link so I can drop that.
So Thanos is an Eternal
with a deviant gene.
I was wondering why he was so large.
Because the Eternals, the Titans are a different species, but if they sent Eternals to Titan, then they would look like Titans. Just like the Eternals that went to Earth look like humans because they need to blend in and fit in with the society.
What's going on, guys?
Sorry.
What? Oh, I was like, who this?
Sorry.
Like, who coming over here? Who here? Who at the door?
Oh shoot, Trev, what's happening? I
seen you. Yeah,
what up? So how was a deviant gene in an Eternal if they're two separate things?
I just dropped the link and
they be conjugating. They conjugate.
It's Marvel Comics, man. Marvel Comics.
They like the Ben and Gesserit, and they like putting
consensual relations.
There's very few things that they haven't done in the comic books.
Side note, JBM, I say connections all the time, and it's all your fault. Just anytime
I love it.
I can, it's being used, and it's not even like, oh, how can I use that word today? No, it's just coming naturally. That's your fault.
You know, I need a shirt that says neglect and swerve on it. I need that. I need that in my life.
Let me go ahead and add that to the list. Neglect and swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, Ducky, I was hype about the Black Knight cameo at the end. That
y'all did mention the Black Knight.
That one was fire.
Yeah, Blade. That's because
that was definitely Mahershala Ali in the background asking him was he ready, and I was like, oh boy, we about to get give me that. I'm ready for this movie now.
Sailor Moon.
And if he's gonna be in Blade, imagine if it's him and Blade running together. Look, all I need is Jon Snow to have a happy ending. That's all. Give my man's a happy ending.
We're not gonna get that.
Jon Snow was sleeping in the cold snow.
Look, I feel like he's in better hands now with the Marvel umbrella.
That was Bleed.
It's definitely not Cottonmouth. Don't stop it.
I haven't recovered, but it definitely was Blade. But also, if they ever bring back Luke Cage and Cottonmouth and all of that, I really want Mahershala to still play him, and then we just pretend we don't see it.
Nah,
I'm with it. Yeah, I'm with it. Let's do
that ship is sailed.
Nah, multiverse, they make it work.
You know what?
He's Blade now.
Deadpool should be the only person who notices that they are like the same person. Like, ain't you Cottonmouth?
He's Blade.
Man.
Blade. Luke
Only
Cage
got
ship
5
is
episodes
over.
of Cottonmouth, man.
Sad.
We got to do like a show with the like top disappointments,
A whole show.
or it could be a
That could be a community discussion. Top disappointments.
Okay,
There's several
I'm with
in
that.
Disappointment.
Cottonmouth, Game of Thrones, the ending to clickbait.
To
That last
Blood
episode
had
was
me
like
upset
wasting
for a
my
minute.
time.
Oh, the TV show. I thought about the movie. I'm like,
Yeah, the TV show, the new one.
Did y'all really want to talk about 007 for today? Because I could just pretend like I don't hear it, or do you want to save it?
nah, we can save it. We already hour 40 in, hour 45.
All right, I will make sure I see it, and then we can come back and chat about that. We'll talk about our
Up since 5 a.m.
Do we want to say our favorite disappointments, or what did you say? How did you word it, JPM?
He said
The top disappointments.
Top disappointments in film and TV. Let's talk about it another time, though.
The what could have been.
Agreed.
So Star Wars definitely going up there.
Should I take us out? We got anything else?
Oh gosh, I don't even want to talk about that.
Oh man, that might take the cake. That feels like a blip. I feel like Thanos did something.
I still feel like it's Game of Thrones for me. It's Game of Thrones, and then the sequel trilogy. Because like the sequel trilogy, I mean, Star Wars can exist outside of the sequel trilogy. Like they just screwed up the entire franchise with Game of Thrones for me. Like I don't even want to see the spinoffs. I don't want to see nothing. Like I don't even care. I don't care.
That was a far left. They went
like they destroyed the whole franchise in one season. Like, ooh, that's tough.
We could go episode by episode and talk about what was bad in each episode. Pointing out the freaking water bottle.
Oh yeah, even that. The execution of it all. That's crazy.
It was so much it did wrong.
That is crazy. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that is crazy.
I'll take it. Wow. Are y'all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. I got Viva Chicken waiting on me.
Ooh. Ooh. I haven't had Viva Chicken in a minute. All right.
Those Maduros.
Thank y'all for watching. As always, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at Certified Gumbo. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications. We're not streaming as much right now. We got a lot of stuff going on, but we still gonna be streaming. So make sure that you check in with us. All right. Please buy us some coffee. The link is in the description bar down below. And then join us on Discord. Especially now, we talk way more on Discord than anywhere else. We're talking about things all day, every day. Coop, what's happening?
Speaking of Discord, Harry Potter fans, it's that time of year. You know, we're getting close to the holidays. It's time to rewatch Harry Potter. So Sunday, you already missed the first movie. We watched that last Sunday. Thank you to everybody that joined in. So we will be watching what is it?
Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. I almost said Goblet of Fire because that's
that almost got one of my favorite characters in there from the franchise in that movie.
Which one? What character?
The teacher. I know that's not saying a lot, but
anyways,
the one who had what's his name on the back of his head.
Oh yeah.
Why was he your favorite? Just because he had him on the back of his head?
He was just funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Professor I just enjoyed it. I was like, that's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, we will be watching at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Discord, the Chamber of Secrets. So join the Discord if you haven't, and if you want to watch along, be sure you're present at 7 p.m. We will start the stream on Sunday at that time. If we have another stream, also just pay attention to the events things, and we'll be sure to make sure we make an announcement so that you're aware that things are happening, but we will be posting events in that events tab. So everybody can, it's an easy way to just keep track of stuff as we do the stuff. And then Tomorrow is Disney Plus Day, and we have a Kenobi trailer coming, as well as some other Star Wars
He
stuff.
better cry. I better see tears.
He's
What
not
time
See
does
a puddle.
Plus Day
it's not the
start?
direction that they're going. So, huh?
What time does Disney Plus Day start?
That's I'm assuming they're going West Coast time, so I would say it'd be in the afternoon for us, more than likely.
Alrighty.
But yeah, that's coming, and then anything else? What is it? I'm pretty sure we're going to get another Boba Fett trailer, probably a real trailer because that was a teaser that we got,
Ooh.
and then a bunch of other. I know Spider-Man. I'm assuming we'll have some more Spider-Man news. Shout out to everybody who didn't get spoiled. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I will definitely have a Star Wars related stream, either a discussion in Discord or I'll do a live stream. I don't know what, but that'll be tomorrow. So definitely tune in. And yeah, JPM.
Hey, thank y'all for attending. Have a good night. That's what it is.
Short and simple. As I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.